Hi, I just wanted to do this video today to, I guess, showcase whereabouts I am and what I'm doing in the course that I'm doing. I did find it quite tough at the beginning. I wasn't really sure what the hell I was doing. But I made a lot of contacts along the way and learned how to present myself, I suppose, and kind of figure out who I am, or not even who I am, but how I come across to people, or how the things that I've had come up work-wise or life-wise or experience, or even family things, just little things that have come up in the past, or that have happened in the past but have come up in the present, and maybe the answers that I've wanted for a while, or even the acceptance of finally coming to that now. And I think, especially with working with the girls on the course, I realise I'm probably not at everybody else's level that I started off with, but I've learned to kind of be okay with that, as it were. I did find it a bit, maybe like a tinge of jealousy for a good while, but then realising that doing this course was always going to take me a bit longer than, let's say, something physical, manual work. To work on yourself and to have a personal journey isn't as all sunny and good weather and feeling great every day and going for loads of walks, blah blah blah. I'm doing it, but it's not all roses and sunshine, but it's about keeping a check on yourself and realizing what you have and realizing of what you wanted that you actually have now, and forgetting that being hard on yourself is something we always say, but when we're actually doing it in everyday life and we become we have a physical ailment based on that, like headaches or sickness, which is something I've had myself, and just to knock it to the side when it is such a massive thing. And I think because people haven't been seeing each other on a normal basis, it's very easy to just be like, oh yeah, I'm fine, blah blah blah, let's meet for a walk, but we're all trying to mind ourselves, and it can be quite difficult. Anyway, I guess the main idea for this video is to showcase kind of where I am, and I think I've worked on myself enough to know that it's probably time now for me to start doing the getting back into the content and actually progressing, from one module to the next, and from working with Viv, who was great. She's really given me a confidence boost this week, so shout out to Viv. She made me realise that the everyday is just so important. I thought I had been doing everything, that was best for me, but from looking at what we worked on, the actions towards self-care and all that, I think I consider a lot more people before myself every day of the week, probably a lot of hours of the day without realising, and it might look like to other people that I'm concentrating on myself, but I am quite a people person, and when I'm not out in an everyday setting, I find it quite difficult to come in and know that my full day is in the house, which you know, under normal circumstances where, you know, there's less pressure in the world, and, you know, the media isn't as kind of full on, and your Facebook isn't full on, and your Instagram isn't full on, and etc. etc. You know, you can be like, oh yeah, this is cool, this is fine, but you know, with the weather being the way it is as well, and you know, we constantly have to remind ourselves that, you know, just because one day is just like, oh, fantastic, put on makeup, blah blah blah, check my hair, blah blah blah. You know, it's something that it's very difficult to, you know, keep up every single day. But to feel good on the inside, you know, it obviously comes into the outside in the end, because how you feel on the inside obviously comes to the outside. I mean, you know, you can put on your makeup and you can do all these things, but at the end of the day, you know, how you present yourself, how you speak, you know, almost illuminates or comes out extra when it all comes together. So from, you know, you feel good on the inside, you wear nice clothes on the outside. Okay, that's age-old saga. Oh, you know, you have a shower, you dress nice, and everything will be like, way great. But in reality, you know, that's something that is part of your day. You know, lest we forget that as youngsters we weren't taught, or myself, you know, in national school or in primary school, you know, that to look after your mind and body was very important. You know, education was the thing. Oh yeah, you know, do this, to do that, to do this, to do that, and what do your parents do, and go to this careers lady when you go into secondary, and she'll sort you out, or he'll sort you out, and you'll figure it out from there. But hang on a second, how you look comes into part of play. That you're a young teenager, you're impressionable, no one tells you that these things are going to change in how you feel in a big school, etc. etc. That's my own personal view. Anyways, these are all kind of little things that I've come to realise. But I guess to finish off the video, it's that, and it's probably quite evident from the video, this is kind of one of my first ones, as I tend to ravel on a bit, but to be able to do it in general is amazing. To even be sitting here, I'm just like, okay, did think about this for a while, never got this far, but I did it, and had everything in front of me, didn't really follow it as per usual. I kind of go free fall, or whatever that word is, but long story short, I think I'm a lot more comfortable in myself, and very grateful to all the calls that have, you know, helped me on the course, even when times where I felt a bit like, oh, not so sure if this is still adding value to me. I think it was only because I kind of maybe let the pandemic kind of get in on me a bit too much, even though I was handling it before, you know, or, you know, working at home a lot more than being out in the world. It's tricky when you're kind of a people person, shall we say. Anyways, I think to wrap this up, yeah, for the third time, to wrap this up, I think it's my time now to use everything I've learned, and with the help of Viv, again, hello, who's helped me get back on track. I think to get into the swing of the content now will be just good timing, because it's coming up to Christmas, and, you know, everyone wants to be kind of in good form going home, and you know, it's just a feel good factor. So to be able to feel like I've got a good bit done before I go home, I won't feel like I'm kind of like, oh, you know, I wasted those weeks before I went back and didn't do anything. Obviously that's a personal note, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, we all have times of the year where things are hard, and I think Christmas for me has always been a bit difficult, because I think it's around the time where the weather's got a bit dark and things seem a bit more difficult, even though they probably aren't in reality, but in mindset they feel like they are to me, because I'm quite like, you know, seasonal type person. I prefer the nicer weather because it obviously makes you feel good, etc., etc. But to have everything organised this year more than I normally would, which is saying something for me. Flights booked on time. Anyway, yeah. So that was just one of my first videos. That was a bit random. But yeah, thanks.